All right, we are being recorded. So like a rundown of what our schedule is tonight, we're gonna have our lovely Amy do their presentation. And then afterwards, we will break out into session rooms if you had previously signed up for them. And then after that, we'll have like a Q&A session, I believe. And yeah, we'll have a great night. We'll also have 2 rounds of the breakout sessions for you all to talk to veterans if you signed up beforehand, like I mentioned. So yeah, just to pass it off, I'd like to hand it over to Amy.
Woo! Hello, everyone. Is everyone staying hydrated? I hope you're all staying hydrated. Let me share my screen. That's my face. Wait, I need to make sure I can see the chat. Okay. Here we go. Let me set up my.
Also, before Amy gets started, you could definitely put your questions in the chat for Amy while she's presenting. So if you guys have any questions, please go ahead.
Cool. Yeah, so it's really great to see everyone. Let's just, I still want to read some of these messages. I know networking skills, want to meet people. Yeah, those are solid reasons. So welcome to this talk about networking. Hi, my name is Amy Kuo. My pronouns are she, they. I am a non-binary woman. I have had an interesting history of just a journey in general in my life where I learned computer science at UC Berkeley. Then I decided that I didn't want to do that, and I went to studying animation by not going to art school. Then I started Animon Studios and debuted as producer by creating the short film called Let's Eat. Then I got the chance to work at ILM as a technical assistant. I got to work on films like Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther, Star Wars. Then my next gig was I got to work at Tonko House on their mini series called Oni. I have no idea when it's coming out, but it's coming out and it's going to be really awesome. And now, after taking a year sabbatical and getting top surgery and blah, 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 my mental health, blah, 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 I am working as a contractor at Apple, working on CG assets. So tech, but CGI. And fun fact, I have 2 cats named Mango and Cheddar. So that's me. Cool. Can everyone hear that dinging in the background from my Discord? That's cool. I'm just gonna quit that and hopefully it will stop dinging. Let's get to it. Networking. A lot of you say you want to get better at it. Yeah, but it's hard, but it's also fun. This talk is going to be much more interactive, so get your keyboard typing sticks ready, because I will be asking you questions. So what are we going to talk about? We are first going to talk about how to set up for a good conversation. This is the most important part of this talk, so if you listen to anything, listen to that part. It's really going to be the tool that's going to help you navigate networking and have it be not as scary or detrimental to your mental health that it should be. It may even make networking fun for you. Then, using what we learned to have a good conversation, we're going to go through some networking scenarios, and you're going to tell me what you think of some prompts and how to improve them. Then we're going to have our practice networking event. If y'all have any questions for me, I will be in the main room after this talk, just answering questions. And also during the talk, if we have time, I will answer questions during. So I have Althea and the AIA team to shout them out to me. So yes, speaking of which, can I have a link to the Google Doc with all the questions? I didn't have it. Bev, if you just messenger it to me.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Cool, awesome. let's get to it. So here are the three things that are going to drive having a good conversation. Number one is agency, specifically the agency that drives people's actions. And we will talk about how their actions do not reflect your value or your worth. Number two, we'll talk about setting expectations and seeing if it aligns with others' expectations. And three, we're going to talk about figuring out your intentions when networking and reflecting on making the most out of it. So let's get into it. And just like my last talk, let's stay hydrated. So agency, what does it even mean? Honestly, I didn't really have this word in my vocabulary until within the past 2 years. So if you pay attention to anything I say today, it's these slides about agency. I know I said like everything, but specifically agency, like pay attention to this one. So what is agency? Specifically personal agency. It's a person with a sense of personal agency perceives themselves as the subject influencing their own actions and life circumstances. Basically, it's the thing that makes you, you. It's the thing that drives the decisions you make on a day-to-day basis. Like, for example, I have the agency to decide that I'm going to work on a presentation on networking. You have the agency to sign up for a talk about networking and not spend your time doing something else. You have your own agency, as do other people. You make decisions for your life and they make decisions for their lives. So what does this have to do with networking? Oh, I'm trying to open up this doc. Okay. Let's see. So everyone has their own personal agency. Their choices are a reflection of themselves and themselves only, just as their choices are a reflection of themselves and themselves only. Just as your choices are a reflection of you and you only. Like my agency to decide I want a veggie loaded burger doesn't make it any better or worse than someone who wants a burger with just cheese and grilled onions, or no burger at all, as some would prefer. We each are simply choosing what kind of burger we want. So this also applies to networking. We each have the personal agency to choose how we want to network. Like if someone decided, yeah, no burger for Andrea. So if someone has an agency to decide that they want to talk to every person under the sun, cool. If I have the agency to decide I am only going to spend my time talking to people who only identify as BIPOC, queer, non-binary, or women, that's my choice and isn't a reflection of anyone else's value. That's just my choice, whatever my reasons may be. So if you reach out to someone to see if they want to chat, they have their own agency, their own circumstances that allows them to decide whether they have the energy or desire to talk to you. And their decision to whether to talk to you or not isn't a reflection of your value. So those people who are saying like, I suck at networking, I, just want to make better friends, or like, I just want to make new people, like you have no control over that, because it is this next slide, which is like networking is a two-way street. It takes two people to make a connection. So while making this connection, you having your own agency are responsible for your own decisions and your own feelings. Like you aren't responsible for others' decisions or their feelings. You can't control them. You can only control yourself. And so I feel like most of the time when people are networked, they're like, oh, I suck at it, I can't make a good connection and things like that. A lot of it, I think, has to do with agency and like realizing that it's not really about you. It's about this whole thing together where this person has their own life and in no way reflects how much you suck at networking, because I'm pretty sure that you don't. It's just looking at opportunities, right? So if you and someone though, like if you both are in a place where you are ready to meet and both have the intentions and energy to make a connection, it can be awesome, right? Like you can see if you are a good fit with each other, you can start vibing and talking about things that you both really care about. And if you don't align and neither of you want to connect, that's also really good to know, because you wouldn't want to force it. That's how bad relationships come from. So once you realize people have their own agency, it is much easier to do networking. When everyone gets to make their own choices and follow their truth, everyone can make genuine connections. And that's really the best outcome of networking. Or like, but the other way is like, if there's no outcomes, that's fine too. That doesn't mean anything. It just means that there are more fish out there in the sea. Whew. So agency is a really hard concept. So we can always revisit it in the chat part of this event, or if you want to have questions like, what does it actually mean? I'll be having my own room open to all. For those who sign up for the practice rooms, like, don't worry, I'll be here for about another 30 to 40 minutes after your round is done. If you have any additional connection or questions, connections. So let's keep going. Expectations. When networking, it is really important to align expectations with the other party that you're talking to ensure a good connection. In any kind of relationship, it is important to put expectations out there and talk about them. So like, for example, for this networking event, my expectation for myself is like, I want to get to know people and their concerns about networking. That's why I asked all of you, right? Why do you want to talk about, why did you come to a talk about networking? I would be happy to have people follow up with me on LinkedIn if they want to connect, and maybe follow up at a later time. Like, I am incredibly busy though, so it'll probably take me 2 to 8 weeks to get back to you. If my expectations align with yours, great. Our connection will be more successful because we'll both be on the same page. We will have a higher chance of getting along, and we can respect each other's spaces and needs as I specified. And you can do the same thing too. So how do you align with someone else's expectations if they aren't listed explicitly? Ask questions and share your expectations too. Like, for example, let's say I'm reaching out to someone named Madeline. I say, Madeline, hey, I'm hoping to get advice on how to move forward in my CG modeling career. Is it okay we can meet for 30 minutes sometime to talk about my resume and portfolio? And then Madeline could say to me, hey, I'm a character TD that both models and rigs, but I primarily focus on rigging. So I would be happy to look at your portfolio and give pointers from a rigging perspective. Does that work for you? And then if this aligns with my expectation as a modeler and what my portfolio is, great, amazing, works out. Madeline's awesome, and so am I. I think it's really important for you to know what kind of relationship you expect from another person too. Like, for you to know, right? You don't know what their intentions or expectations are, but you at least yourself can be like, I can really see this person as a friend, right? A peer, a close friend, but maybe like a one-time conversation or a mentor. Like, that's something that you can know, but this is also something that can change over time. Like, so for example, like if you went to a convention and you just really vibed well with someone running a table and you're like, wow, I would really love to talk to this person again. You can simply ask them like, hey, I really love talking to you about blah, blah, blah. Do you think I can reach out to you via email or LinkedIn? And this person can respond, hey, yeah, I would love to connect. You can even add me on Discord. Or they can also be like, hey, I try not to give out my personal information, but feel free to like reach out to me on my LinkedIn and I can see what my availability is. Both of those answers are super valid. And you learn, like, you know, and them telling you and being very clear, you learned more about this person and what their needs are, which is super awesome. Because then if it works for you, you can discuss what can work for the better of you and make an even better connection that works for the both of you. The third point in the slide, reading the room, it's a little conflicting for me because I'm a huge supporter of ask culture versus guest culture. If you don't know what that is, look it up. I think it's really helpful when approaching people and not guessing what you think they're thinking. But I also think that coming back to this, like, I think it's also really important though to be very aware of someone, how someone feels during an interaction. Like if you are talking to someone and you're having a good conversation, but it seems like their mind is going somewhere else, like how they're like this, they just like disassociate and they're just like, or they just really uncomfortable, or they look really bored, or maybe that's just your social anxiety making you think that they're not interested in you. But in any case, you can ask, right? You can clarify and say, hey, I really am enjoying talking to you. Like, I realize maybe you're kind of busy or your head's somewhere else. Like, do you need a breather? Would it be better we connect another time? Also, like, feel free to say no. If you just like don't want to continue, because that's okay. Just always ask and always clarify. Like, I know this takes practice to like ask questions, because sometimes like, maybe being scared of like rejection or anything else, or like that social anxiety, it's really hard to ask questions very directly. But I believe in all of you, and once you get really good at it, it honestly makes networking so much easier. So here are some things you can ask about in order to help you align your expectations with others. Like, definitely ask how people like to communicate. Everyone has different preferences. Like, when you meet people at conventions online, or even like a one-time portfolio review, you can ask also if you can follow up too, right? Like, oh, do you prefer I follow up with like a phone call or a video call, or instant messaging, any of those options. And it's really good to also ask like, oh, when can I follow up? Like, do you, like, for me, it would really work to like actually meet up for a cup of coffee in like a month, because I'm really busy with traveling and everything. So I would love to meet up with you in a month, or maybe it could be 6 months or like 2 weeks. You can feel it out, right? What feels good to you, and also if whatever feels good to you feels good for the other person too. But whatever you think the person would be comfortable with, but make sure that whatever they answer with, respect it, and don't fight back on it. They know what they want, so respect people's spaces. And so you can also, when you want to follow with them, you can also leave it open-ended and ask if you can contact them if they have any if you have any questions, you can email them about your questions and follow up with them and whatnot. So that's also a good strategy to do when you're following up with people. When you're at the end of a conversation, if you want to follow up with someone, ask them. Maybe you specify you want to do a work session or grab coffee or discuss diversity initiatives or chat about passion projects on Discord. Ask them hey, it was awesome talking to you about passion projects. I would love to chat how you've come along in your journey. Did you want to meet up online to chat and maybe even do a work session together on our projects? Ask away. This is all about aligning expectations. And it's really good because then you'll have a better success at making a good connection. Okay, the part I think that people are most afraid of doing. I feel like all of you are really, really nice, but then you're also having this social anxiety where I'm afraid to offend someone and they're never going to talk to me again. Again, people's agencies, they control what they think, whatever, but you can also avoid being insensitive. So to explain, I think asking for personal information is a no-go. I mean, it kind of depends, right? It depends on how you hit it off with people. Like I know like for like gay people, like once you meet someone and then all of a sudden you're like talking to 3 a.m. at night and you become best friends after only meeting for a day, that sometimes happens. But like, but most of the time in a semi-professional setting, right? Like, don't push like getting someone's phone numbers. Like at a convention, you wouldn't go up to someone and be like, hey, so are you dating anyone? How many siblings do you have? What kind of genitals do you like? No, don't do that, right? Like you don't, if you meet someone, you don't ask them if you're gonna, marry them within the 5 minutes, or maybe if you tried, like, sorry, I'm totally shaming. If any of you did that, I don't mean to shame you, but also maybe reevaluate too. Like, so yeah, don't say things that might offend people either, or that's gonna hurt them. Like asking if they're going to leave their job so you can have it. That's a true story. That has happened. Telling them you think their project isn't going to do well and asking them why they're making it. That happened to me several times. Like, don't ask for things that may make them uncomfortable or is out of their control. Giving you a job, or asking you to give a reference or recommendation for them when you have only talked to them for 5 minutes at a networking event. That's slightly uncomfortable, because I don't know, what do you all think? Is that uncomfortable? I don't know. Like, what do you all like? This is the thing where I'm like, what do you all think would be okay to ask or not be okay to ask? So let me know in the chat. But I think like there's times where like, I think you can always ask to clarify if you think something may not be appropriate to ask. Like for example, but I don't know, 99% of the time though, if you think it's going to be inappropriate to ask, it's most likely going to be inappropriate to ask. But if you really just want to make sure, because you're like, I think I'm being too overly sensitive and I'm not sure, like you can ask like, hey, like, I'm not sure if this is appropriate to ask, like, feel free to say, no, you don't want to answer this. I won't be offended and I want to respect your space. But like, could you tell me more about your experience with coming out to your parents and how that tied with your project? That's also, something. Yeah, Rosie, exactly. Like it's inappropriate to ask for a reference or something because they don't know you. They've never worked with you probably since you just met them at a convention 5 minutes ago. I've also, I said, what did Claudine say? I just keep in mind that the person doesn't know me well enough for personal questions. So I just usually ask how they are to break. Yeah, that's a great one. Person to person situation might have put on the spot, especially if you're in a group setting and you're asking more personal questions that like might be a little awkward because you don't know how they want to open up to everyone. I think tone is really important too. Like if they do like open up to you, is like you just start drinking or start just talking, you just both feel really comfortable and you can slowly, slightly like you can test the waters, right? But like, oh yeah, I like, my partner, she does this. And then if the person's like, oh yeah, my partner does this, and then like, oh yeah, then you can start maybe talking about partners. But yeah, I think there's a lot of things. Treating people as a resource, like taking advantage of them if you only literally just met them. Yeah, I think that's true. I think that one's a hard one though, because like if people have like the intention, like if you are like, wow, I really want to talk to the producer of this thing. And like, I think it'd be a really good connection for me, but I also generally want to get to know them, right? Like, some people do just want to help you and not necessarily build a very deep relationship. But that's why it's always good to align expectation and your intentions to see, hey, like, I would really like to get to know you and things like that and see where that can go, right? But like going right off the bat, be like, hey, can you give me a job? Can you give me a recommendation? Maybe that's not the way they go. Okay, I'm gonna read one more thing. Let's see. The scary part of me is Okay, this one. The scary part is meeting someone so briefly at a convention and then meeting again, but not knowing whether to remind them we've met, because my anxiety makes me worry that what if they don't remember me, and I don't want to make them uncomfortable. Haha. This is a great, okay, everyone, how about we write an example? Like if you had just met someone briefly and you just met them again and you're talking again, how would you reintroduce yourself? If anyone wants to type out an example, or I can just go for it. Amazing, Kirk. Super, like, right? Because like, remember agency of like, oh, I don't know if they're gonna remember me, or I don't know if they're gonna remember me, or you know, I remember them, but like, see, they have their own agency and life circumstances that allows them to remember these things and whatnot. So them remembering you isn't a reflection of you and your work or whatever. So you might as well just clarify, like, hey, I remember you. We just talked really briefly at this one thing, but you just gave off such a good vibe that I just really wanted to connect with you again. And like, and here we are. So I just wanted to say hi, you're cool, bye. Or maybe we can keep saying hi, like, you know, I don't know. Yeah. So that's something that you can do. So setting expectations and asking questions, agency. So yeah, let's keep going. To intentions. I kind of already mentioned intentions several times and stuff. Yeah, Sandra, that's a really good example. That's awesome. You all are so good at this already. You don't need me. Yeah, okay. So intentions. So what about them? Well, I like I said, I asked you all this before, right? Like, why did you all sign up for this talk about networking? Like, why are you here? Maybe you're here to learn about networking. Maybe you're here because you don't like socializing, but want to get better at it. Maybe you're here to support a friend. If you're here to support a friend, good on you. And good on everyone else too. You're all worthy. You're all amazing. But whatever that is your intention for coming to this talk. So when you go out networking, it's good to be aware of what your intention is for networking. So like for networking animation, like your purpose for networking probably falls into I just read Andrea's comment. Wow, okay. Cool. Thank you all. But okay, so for networking animation, your purpose for networking probably falls into one of these categories. Maybe you want to make friends. Maybe you're entering from a different industry and you don't have any contacts or connections in the animation industry. Speaking of which, the Asians in Animation Discord is a great way to get to know people and chat with them. Like from, you know, you can even ask there what events and social gatherings are available on Discord too. So join us. And of course, you know, there are professional intentions that can vary from being casual to semi-professional to professional advice or professional relationships and things like that. So like, this is like when you want to find a mentor or a peer to review your portfolio or resume, or even get advice regarding the industry, like whatever it is, it's good to know what your intentions for networking are and to get as specific as you can about it. So once you have your intention or your intentions plural set, prepare yourself. If you're going to ask someone to mentor you, do your research on that person. Why will they be a good fit? What do you hope to achieve with them? Do you know if they have a history of mentoring and volunteering in the animation industry? You know, yeah, do your research on them and see, because like, you know, would you also, if you met someone 5 minutes in the thing, be like, be my mentor? But why? You know, that also feels a little awkward. Because how do you even know that they're going to be good for you, right? But yeah, if you're just ready to have fun and make friends, like, I think it's a lot more easier than that, right? Because you just come hopefully as yourself, right? Be relaxed, like, do you have a goal of like, do you want to get people's contact information? Like, are you just gonna feel the crowd and wing it and and see if anyone's out there going to really vibe with you? Do you just want to say hi to 5 people and be like, cool, that's it, I did my socializing today, I did a good job, which is awesome. Yeah, saying hi to people is hard. Yeah, do whatever you need to do to prepare yourself, right? So for networking events and also practice networking, which is what we're going to do tonight, it's just a great thing to do because you really can learn about yourself. It is kind of it is very helpful to know about yourself before networking or even during networking. It's this journey, it's this growth, right? You get to learn like how you communicate, what kind of people you like to surround yourself with, like what helps you really connect with someone. Like, do you like to bond with people over board games or over Among Us or maybe over drinks or over tea or over cats? I don't know. Cats is best option. Unless you're really allergic to them, then I'm so sorry. But yeah, so as you talk to people, like you're going to learn what you like talking about, and also what you like to know of other people. Yes, over boba, yes. Or food, food. Let's bond over food. Yes. But yeah, you'll also start to gauge like what's okay and what's like not okay to talk about, depending on how well people know you and how well you know the other person. I think there are some taboo topics to talk about, like when you first meet someone or if you're not in a safe space, like sexual assault, people's romantic lives, people's personal traumas, like such things like that, right? There's a time and space for that, but when you're networking in a semi-professional setting, maybe that's not really the place to do that. But maybe eventually too, because I'm also a big proponent of like being really open about diversity initiatives and women's rights. So those are things that we need to talk about. But when you're networking, maybe not as a starter. Ivan, if you message the general chat, the AIA people can track your question, and I can answer the question at the end. So that really helps. Anyways, so yeah, so when you chat with people, you'll figure out what you like and what you don't like. But again, if you're not sure if this person's going to be okay talking about something, just ask with the disclaimer that the person doesn't have to answer. Give them space and respect it. So the more people you encounter and get to know, the more you're going to figure out what you like and what you don't like. And so keep an open mind and explore. You never know, right? And remember, like, not only do people have their own agency, they also have their own intentions too. And you might not align with them. And just because you don't align, remember, doesn't mean your value is any less. You can't guarantee a response from someone. So don't force it. This is the part of the learning process. And the worst thing that can happen to you is that you don't get along with someone and you move on. No harm, no foul. The world is not going to burn because you cannot carry a conversation for more than 2 minutes. It is okay. It has happened to me so many times I can't count. But here I am talking about networking. So yeah. So as some last bit of advice for networking, after you network, it's really good to reflect on how it went. Like, reflect on what you liked or didn't like. Did it go a lot better than you expected? Did it feel awkward and then get better? Did you not feel welcome? And what made you feel that way? Like, was there a jerk at the person? Was someone just talking over you and and also everyone else, and no one could have a say or actually connect? reflect on that, right? And just to help you have like perspective and things like that. So once you reflect, I think it's also really good to think of how you would change their circumstances for the next time you network. Like, what if that very loud person, is wasn't there, or maybe like, maybe if I come across someone who's like really loud and overtaking a room, maybe I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go grab a drink. Like, hey, do you want to come with me? And then now you can have your side conversation or something. It's always good to reflect on it. So and also don't forget to reach out to people that you connected with and that you were able to get their contact info. So woohoo. All right, this is where you use your keyboard stick fingers to type away. So we went through a lot of stuff, so let's actually go through some examples. You let me know what you think and if you would approach them differently. So let's do it. Cold calling, flying messages, and finding community. Okay, but let's talk about cold calling. I love that picture. Okay, cold calling, the act of reaching out to someone you have not interacted with before or not having a mutual contact to introduce you to them. Like, you're just reaching out straight out of the blue. This is terrifying to do. It's hard, and also one of the harder methods of making a good connection with someone. I think to help increase the success of a cold call is keeping in mind of your intention, your expectations, and be very good at communicating those. I think the key to cold calling is knowing why you're reaching out to that person, letting that person know how you came across them, and why you are asking, why are you reaching out to them, letting them know why and what you would like to chat with them about, and ask them if they have time to chat. But yeah, let's go through some examples. So this is the first one. Hi, I'm Amy. I'm a student at Anawan University with a passion for film and television production. Would you be willing to connect? Thanks. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna read all your messages. This is my favorite activity. Too presumptuous, sad, professional, since you meant it. It is professional. This is a good start. Too general. Ooh, yeah, could be more specific. Oh my god, you're lacking sauce. It sounds a little cold. I'd be more specific. A message template, maybe draw a connect to the person. Yeah, nice. Be more, I think they're pretty polite. It's just like a little too vague. Yep, you all got it. I think personally, I think it's not detailed enough. I don't know who you are. What's your name? I don't even know how you found me. Like, it feels kind of random, because why do you want to connect with me? And yeah, I don't even know. Yeah. Oh no, you feel uncomfortable. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next one. Hello, I'm Lily. I was wondering if you could ask some questions regarding your position with Skydance Animation, such as how you came to the position, what you would suggest to someone aiming for an internship, and how you describe your experience as a Skydance employee. Nice, might be overwhelming. Much better. Yeah, much better. It's cool. Why is Lily cracking? That's not nice. I'm reading your messages, y'all. Yes, intentions is much better. Oh, cracked means good. What is up with you kids? I'm too old now. Oh, wow, I just called it. I was so old. Okay. Wow. Exclamation points. Cool. Yeah. So I think you all got it as in crack the code. Wow, I am getting old. Wow. Um, Yes, wait, okay, all right, Lexi's got it. If they're missing why they're connecting with this person, like this is better. They have said what they want to talk about, but I don't know who you are. Again, I don't know how you came across me. That can come off a little creepy. And so yeah, and it doesn't seem as personable. So let's go with this last example. What do y'all think? Everyone tell JJ to stop harassing me. Yes, I love the personal experience. I do too. Yes, yeah. I think the personal experience of like how they knew this person, yeah, hits every mark. Sets up a meeting too. Yes, someone pointed out the thing that no one talked about yet. Yeah, so yeah, like, yeah, see Adele, you're not bad at networking, you're fine. So yeah, this one's great. Even though Lily doesn't go into details of who she is like as much, like I still have a sense of like where she is in life because she's a student. I know how she came across me. I know what she wants to talk about, and she even offered how she would like to meet. And it seems a bit semi-professional, if not casual. It's but I would consider this to be semi-professional. Because it's like it's about meeting, it's about discussing about advice and about about the industry. It's not a personal thing where I'm like, hey, I want to get to know where you live and like, do you like board games? That can come naturally in part of the conversation, but that's not the main point here, right? The main point is to talk about development in animation. So it's awesome. Great. General format, reading, how you met, reason for meeting. Thank you. Yeah, great. Awesome. Finding mentors. Okay. Finding mentors can be just as hard as cold calling, or maybe easier if you were already introduced to this person that you would like them to be your mentor. I would hope you have done your research on why you would want to have someone be your mentor, right? Because not everyone's a great mentor. Some people are terrible out there. It's like how not everyone should be a teacher. At least that's my opinion. But yeah, ideally a mentor should be someone who can give you solid advice and also get along with you. Who doesn't want that? I also want to get along with everyone in my life, ideally. But so in the context of finding a mentor, helping the success of a person is similar to the cold call. Keep in mind of your intention, of your expectations, and be very good at communicating those. Like, know why you're reaching out to that person to be your mentor. Let that person know how you came across them and why they would be a good mentor for you. Letting them know what you would like to chat with them about and asking for some time to chat if you will get along. So let's get into it. Oh my God, why are you not going? Hello. Okay, there you go. Hi, Amy. I saw you work at Bongo Studio on LinkedIn, and I think it'd be great if we can connect. I'm a recent graduate. I've done loads of work in animation and even led. I was wondering if you could be my mentor and give me an internship at your studio. I think I would be super qualified. Looking forward to hearing from you. Bull. Oh God. Oh. Honestly, this has happened to me. As in, someone asked me to be hired. It was very awkward. Yes. All right. I think you all got it. Like, yeah, look, looking forward to hearing from you. It's good in other scenarios, but not great when you just, very, yes, okay. So yeah, this person wants to connect. They found Amy very well, but they weren't even specific what they do. Like, did you do production management? Were you an animator? We will never know because we will never respond to. No, you should respond to this person. Just kindly tell them no. They didn't tell Amy why they want them as a mentor, and what they even hope to achieve from a mentor-mentee relationship. And Amy doesn't know this person. So this person asked me for an internship is going to make future interactions really awkward and really uncomfortable. Okay, example B. Hello, Amy. My name is Dao. And I am pursuing a career in production management, and I was hoping I could get some guidance for you. Do you think you have time for that? Or do you think you have time to chat? Oh, there we go. To chat. Thanks so much for your time. Can we personalize a bit? That seems good. I think this is good. Simple, more polite but vague, better but needs personalization. Not great intentions. What's their intent? Quick to the point. Very vague. Not saying how they met. Doesn't have specifics. Intention, yes, intention is guided. So this is the hard part. This is okay. This would be like a C minus or a C plus. It's pretty vague. I don't know who Dao is. Sorry, Dao. I don't know who Dao is. I don't know how she found me. But I know that she's pursuing production management and hoping to get some guidance, which is good. I think, do you think you have time and things like that? So I think they definitely could be a little bit more specific. So let's go to this third example. Hi, Amy. My name is Dao. Oh, no, it's 7:50. Okay, let's wrap this up. My name is Dao. I watched a talk you did recently on making indie films. I wanted to express how much I admire your story on building the foundation of your film, Let's Eat. I am an inspiring producer starting to make their own production. If you're open to mentoring, I would love to chat with you so we can see if we're a good match or not. I look forward to hearing from you. I want to get a good regarded networking. No, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. There's no measurement of like networking, right? But yes, good seasoning. I don't think I would remove Let's Eat. I think that's fine. Because you're actually mentioning like what film they worked on. No, don't do that, Alice. But also be fine, but also really awkward. I hope your name is not Dao. Yeah. I think Sandra, I think you could leave it in or not. Because like you don't know if that person actually would be a good mentor, if they're gonna also jump in without setting expectations and things like that. So you already setting the expectation could be good. So you could leave it in there if you wanted to, and it's not. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. For me, I would leave it in there just to make clarified, like, hey, I want to have an initial conversation with you. I don't want to agree to anything yet. So that's my personal choice. But say. Yes, Andrea, I think it's really good. Like, yeah, I think we are definitely these I think are real examples. And I can tell you, I have made every one of the single mistakes, except for asking for a job, because I literally had no confidence and have somewhat still no confidence. But so like there's no shaming in these and whatnot, and and there's definitely we don't want to. There are no mistakes in networking too, right? Like I said before, it's all about journey, it's all about learning and how we can learn from these examples, and if they can improve or what fits you better. So yeah, the shame of not being perfect is what actually makes you more tense when you network, and there's no such thing as being perfect, because you're just trying to figure out what you're doing, and we're all learning. So thanks, Andrea, for calling that out. Okay, the most fun part of networking, at least in my opinion, finding community, I feel like tends to be more casual than not. I think being semi-professional at first is a good way to approach it. Maybe don't talk about controversial or inappropriate topics first, but until you get to know them a lot better. If you want me to give a few examples of what's not appropriate, let me know. But so I think we've already done that. But so let's go through these emails and let me see what you think. Hey JJ, it was really nice meeting you the other day at the networking event. I had a really good time talking about Voltron and our shared love for all things cats. Did you want to meet up sometime this week and do a portfolio session? Let me know, Amy. That seems fine to me. Nice. Chill. I like that. Nice. Casual. Not, yeah. 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 It's not this. This is a casual thing, right? It's friendly, like appropriate. You can talk. They followed up on things of like, hey, we had this conversation, let's just talk. But I think if for the purposes of this, for this presentation, I've kept it short. But yeah, that is it. No, that is not how I met JJ, Andrea. Okay, so B. Hey Lexi, that networking event was awesome. I think you did a great job talking to others. You kick butt. Like, hey, so were you serious about doing an Overcooked game night? If you're still down, I'm down too. I'm free this Saturday evening. Let me know if you're available. Yeah, this works. Yeah. Yeah, if you talk to someone you at a networking event and you talk about Overcooked and they're like, hey, I want to play Overcooked with you, follow up on Overcooked. This is awesome. Let's do Overcooked night. I love Overcooked. It would be so overwhelming to play with 100 people though. That would be crazy. Insane. Here's yeah, that works. Yeah. You're making friends. Why not? C. Hey Beverly. It was so great meeting you at the mixer last week. I'm so glad we were able to connect and talk about all things. I talked with the animation team and they would love to meet you and see if you would be a good fit as a production coordinator on the team. If you're still interested, let me know and I'll set up a time. Looking forward to hearing from you. Yeah, no issues. I don't think it's aggressive because I think it's setting expectation like, hey, I'm following up. Here's my plan. Let's do it. Can I be perfectly listener? Yeah. Let's see. Good. Talk about all the things. Yes. Let's talk about all the things. Anything else? No. Yeah. All the examples for finding community is fine. It's casual, semi-professional. They connected what they talked about in previous conversations and continuing that on and creating up environments to follow up on things. These are all valid. So yeah, great job, everyone. We made it. This talk went a lot longer than I thought it would. I was aiming for like 30 to 40 minutes. Lol, sorry, Beverly, and Althea and Glory. Crack sauce. Oh no. Did I crack? Is that how you use it? I cracked. I don't know. Okay, but we made it. I hope you found some of this talk useful. Here are the main takeaways. Everyone has their own agency and their choices don't reflect on you. Make sure to align your expectations with others to help you make better connections. Set your intentions so you know what you are looking for and have fun with it. Be thoughtful with networking. Everyone deserves respect. Definitely go out there, be brave, ask questions, start conversations, but remember that no one owes you anything and vice versa. Your actions, no matter how small, can definitely be impactful on other people, whether that's good, bad, or neutral. So yeah, but when you're networking, most of all, just have fun. So yeah, thank you to everyone for coming. And thank you to Lexi and Bev for helping me create this deck. And thanks to Asians in Animation for having us. And thank you all for attending and sticking it out. So yeah. So I think everyone, not everyone, but so for people going to their practice rounds, here are some questions that you should think about, and also people who are going to stay in the Q&A room where I will be. What are your intentions for this networking event? Do you just want to say hi? Do you just want to tell your story? Do you just want to get people, you know, what are your expectations of this event? Like you just appearing here, you getting to know the people, you know, whatever, right? Like, what do you want to take away from this event? That is up to you. And also, what are you okay with not happening? Are you okay with not getting one's contact information? Are you okay with just having not talked, but like happy to like listen and let other people have space? Are you okay with not happening? So think about those things when you're doing your rounds. So yeah, I'll give it back to Althea.
Hello. Well, thank you so much, everybody. I hope you guys are feeling inspired, feeling ready for a networking round. Honestly, thank you so much, Amy. What an insightful event. Heck yeah, let's go.
I'm cracked.
Full of sauce. I love it. But honestly, I hope everybody had a wonderful, awesome time and hope to talk to you guys real soon. Yes. So let's go to our rooms.
Yes.